wind up doing less damage to single targets because you're spreading your damage all. That looks kind of wrong. Barbarian is cool and everything. It procs more than this, but this does real damage and it's got more AoE. Look at that though. That looks ridiculous. We got a Faith Mercenary with Destruction, Dual Dream, and Dragon on our Paladin. Let's see how this does in cows compared to that Barbarian. It's not going to proc quite as much, but it definitely does way better AoE, way better attack damage. Just because it's not relying solely on the procs and the crappy damage that Destruction does, like physical damage. This is only players 1, but I mean, I would say this is maybe players 3 to players 5 max. You're not going to be much better than a regular Tesladin or Aradin, but it is pretty satisfying. It looks pretty damn cool. So if you were, you know, running this in a lot of different areas, you might want to run like a Fire Sundering Charm, just so the fire portion of the volcanoes and the molten boulders are not going to waste. You know, you could rock Fire and Lightning Sundering Charm. Guess it just depends on your gear, what your reses are like. You know, if you want to take out every, you know, apply every type of damage to any enemy in the game, even if they're normally immune. It's kind of cool even how there's like that little bit of knockback from the molten boulder. Gives you a little crowd control. I think it goes nicely with the Dual Dream. I could even maybe do a different mercenary and then run like Treachery as the armor. There's, you know, there's endless options really. That's the beauty of D2. You know, not everything's necessarily players 8 viable, but there's a lot of stuff that's going to be viable to play, have fun, do something different. This next hit delay change really does open the door up for the Destruction Runeword to not be a POS anymore. Probably some cool Destruction kicksins that you could do as well. It's not going to, you know, be as good as Mosaic, obviously, but you know, what is as good as Mosaic? Okay, so I thought I was onto something, making a Destruction barb with the Mercenary with 2 destructions as well. But I think 3 destructions are actually better simply because we're going to get decrep from Lawbringer, and then we're going to benefit our molten boulders and our volcanoes. So I think this is going to be much better. And then as much as I love Fortitude, the convenience of Enigma is just, you know, it is what it is. So let's go ahead and take this a couple places, demonstrate what this can do. I got Carrion Wind and Wisp Projector on as rings as well, just to get more procs going on. Really benefit from this change in the next hit delay. Of course, this is not the best in the world, but I mean, you know, a new alternative to Mosaic if you want to make your graphics card hot. Now, it previously was kind of crappy against bosses, but I think with Decrep it's going to take it up a notch. And it does add, you know, some decent AoE, but at the same time, this is still an elite sniping kind of character in my opinion. This is players 1 right here. And you know, this is viable now compared to what it used to be. But, you know, don't expect to get hammered in type of clear speeds. This is something you do just because of the satisfaction of, you know, enjoying all the procs going off. So look at these, like I put a decent amount of points into Berserk, or I actually think I maxed it out, just to add some supplementary magic damage to this as well, because, you know, Fortitude really only adds like 600 damage to the equation, so I think, oh Let's just get him out of there. Let's go straight to the boss. And then we'll go to like cows or something so you can see the procs, you know, even more vividly. See, even like Whirlwind Barbarian's still gonna get better AoE than this. Because you don't really have full control over where all the casts are gonna be going when they proc. You also don't really have control. Like Whirlwind, you kind of control an area of effect a lot more, or because the area of effect is your character rather than your character, like, you know. Frenzy seems more like a single target build even though it's multi-target. That's what I'm trying to say, I think. Because you wind up doing less damage to single targets because you're spreading your damage all. That looks kind of wrong. You're doing less damage to single targets because you're spreading all your love around town. Put it that way. So yeah, definitely let me know if you think this is just underwhelming. Let me know if you think it would be better like a single destruction on a Dual Dream Zeal Paladin. Because I know for sure that would be better in terms of, you know, efficiency, clear speed. Even like, you know, dual dragon with a destruction. The shitty physical damage of destruction's not going to really hold you back at that point. See, what the? My character's tele-stomping him and then just sitting there. I pressed the button. Come on. There we go. See, this is like ideal. We got the volcano under him while he's decrept. He's taking more physical damage from it. We're both swinging at him. You know, I haven't seen any molten boulders lately. So yeah. Not necessarily the best, but it's not terrible either. And it's definitely not even as strong as the, you know, the Destruction Fury Druid, because that can have synergized procs. So I think the Paladin's really going to be the way to go. This is kind of like just a meme build right here. I think on the last video with the Poison Nova Necromancer, the change was negligible, if any change at all. The poison still gets interrupted. I think that's the verdict. I really appreciate you for stopping by. Please consider subscribing if you enjoy the content, and I'll see you on the next one.